this afternoon. David Farrell. David Farrell, blame it on the fizzy drinks. Blame it on the fizzy drinks. David Farrell.
Jumping out of an airplane is stupider than putting a screen door in a submarine. Honored head table, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, and brilliant judges. That's what I said to my friend while we were having a fizzy drink in a local public house, and he pulled a 2-for-1 skydiving lesson coupon out of his pocket. However, one fizzy drink led to 2 fizzy drinks, which led to 3 fizzy drinks, and skydiving didn't seem so stupid anymore. So the next weekend, I found myself with my buddy and 10 others in a classroom at a skydiving school. And the instructress was a tall, blonde, Nordic-looking woman with fierce blue eyes, strong physique. To this day, I still think of her as Brunhilde. And Brunhilde started our course by telling us everything that could go wrong. Things like, if your emergency parachute accidentally got deployed, it would go out the door of the plane, pull you through the wall of the plane, killing you instantly, causing the plane to crash into the ground, killing everybody on board. And the protection against this was you held your hand over the pole. What? She did not appreciate my skepticism. But that was not my favorite. My favorite was you could jump out of the plane and there was a static cord that was meant to pull your parachute open. Sometimes it doesn't, and you end up being dragged behind an airplane. She went into a very detailed description of what to do should this happen. And it started with, you pat the top of your head so that the spotter in the plane knows that you are not panicked. I assured her I would be lying. She did not see that humor in it. She went on to describe many other horrible things that could happen. Parachutes not opening, lines going over the top, people getting tangled up in the shrouds. I finally had to ask, has anybody died doing this? And she gave the answer, not on the first jump. Wrong answer, I replied. She seemed, again, somewhat perturbed with my flip answer. But now that we knew everything that could go wrong, we were actually going to prepare to jump. And she lined up everybody who wore glasses and took out a box of rubber bands. And the idea was to take 4 and put them across the back of your glasses so they would not fall off when you crashed into the earth. Somehow, when it got to be, she was down to 2 rubber bands. So I put them on, and my glasses were pressed against my eyeballs so tightly that I couldn't blink nor close my eyes. That was a skill I thought I might use before I stepped out of an airplane. But we continued. We got our parachutes, which were World War II surplus parachutes. They had, you put it on like a backpack, and had 2 straps that came between your legs and stuck into a harness around your belly. I found out that I'm taller than the average World War II vet. Those straps just weren't going to make it. Brunhilde with a glint of vengeance in her eye, said, "Let me help." And reached between my legs, grabbed the strap, and with Valkyrian strength, hauled it up and slammed it into the harness. Through the pain in my nether regions, I remembered there was 2 straps. The only defense I could muster in my weakened state was no. As the onslaught slammed the other one home. But at least now I was prepared to jump. So I made my way out to the airplane. And while I was on my way, I was concerned about how would a seatbelt get around all of this. There was no need to worry. There was not only no seatbelts, but no seats. The pilot instructed me to crawl on the floor behind his seat and lean forward, or he could not take off. We took off into the air, and I bravely jumped from the airplane, screaming just a little. As I looked up and saw a beautiful, round, open, safe parachute. And I did what they had trained me to do. They had 2 toggles that allowed you to steer in the direction you were going to go. And they had an arrow that could move on the ground to show you which direction to go. Unbeknownst to me, they had their timing off and it was going in the wrong direction. And I landed in a farmer's field way over there. It was an organic farmer. I could tell because he had naturally occurring fertilizer mixed with water, spread all over the field, and I landed and rolled in it. I started the long trek back, planning the tirade I was going to unleash on my friend when I saw him. Sore and odoriferous, I approached him. And he spoke first. "You're not getting in my car." As he tried to untangle my fingers from his throat, he came with a wonderful suggestion that we go for a fizzy drink. And while we were having that first fizzy drink, I pulled out a coupon for 2-for-1 rock climbing. I told him he was a few fries short of a Happy Meal, but one drink led to another, but that's next year's speech.